Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, I just want to give a quick disclaimer that this video is not intended to be insensitive in any way. I just gathered a bunch of news articles and statistics off the internet, which is available to all public, and put them all together into one video. Okay, so today we will be discussing gender-based violence, or GBV for short. At the moment, there is a trial going on in South Africa of a case for a lady named Sekgopatso Pule, who was found hanging from a tree in June 2020. She was 8 months pregnant and she had multiple stab wounds to her body. It is alleged that her boyfriend, Ntutu Kushoba, arranged with a man to have Sekgopatso murdered and offered him 70,000 rand because he did not want his life partner to find out about his affair and he didn't want to father his unborn baby girl. This is just one example of the hundreds that are happening where women are raped and murdered daily in South Africa. Lady Pangandwayo was murdered while attending a cultural function in Mossel Bay by the father of two of her children after he attacked her with an axe and a knife. Nolundi Dondolo was murdered by the father of her child after she broke up with him. Tempan Ndlovu shot Nolundi in front of her mom in a street before turning the gun on himself. Miss Samuels was driving her car with her husband in the passenger seat and their baby in the back seat when her husband suddenly started stabbing her before attempting to flee the scene. Police later allegedly found divorce papers in her car. Law enforcement statistics show that in the period between 2019 and 2020, 2,695 women were murdered. This basically means that one woman is murdered every 3 hours in this country. During our country's strictest lockdown level, domestic violence increased at such a rapid rate, with women and children being locked in their homes all day with their abusers, that our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, made a statement saying that our country is currently facing two pandemics at the same time, COVID-19 and gender-based violence. The femicide in our country was already 5 times higher than the global average, and during lockdown level 5, the GBV and Femicide Command Center, which is a call center that our government set up to support victims of GBV, announced that they had had 120,000 victims in the first 3 weeks of lockdown. This is why feminism is so important. It's something that shouldn't just be discussed by women, but by all genders, especially intersectional feminism. There are groups of marginalized people who are discriminated against, not just for one reason, but for several, and all these reasons overlap each other. What I mean by this is, for example, a black woman from a low income household will find it much more difficult to get out of a cycle of poverty because of her situation. Being a woman means that she's much more likely to be assaulted or murdered by a man, especially someone she knows, such as her spouse, and also in a workplace or with even things like buying a house or a car, men are often taken more seriously and shown more respect than women are. Now, being a person of color means that you will also have to face institutional racism, which is still a very big problem even in 2021. And lastly, add to that her financial situation, and it makes it near impossible for this woman to get as far as her white or male counterparts would be able to. These are issues that need to be dealt with and focused on at a government level. Kimberly Crenshaw, who is a law professor in America, came up with the term intersectional feminism, and she once said, "Not all inequality is created equal." In my opinion, we need to keep talking and keep pushing subjects such as this, because in the whole of history, all revolutions and changes only happened because those protesting for social justice refused to give up. They refused to be silenced. So, let me hear some of your opinions in the comments below. What do you think is the solution to this problem of gender-based violence? How can we ensure that awareness keeps increasing so that these victims who died did not do so in vain? Their lives were important. They were important, and we need to keep their memories alive by fighting against this epidemic. I'm going to end this video with a famous quote from a song that Tupac sang called "Keep Your Head Up." I think it's very appropriate in this situation, especially seeing as Mother's Day is coming up next weekend. Since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from a woman, why we rape our woman. Do we hate our woman? I think it's time to kill for our woman, time to heal our woman, and be real to our woman. And if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies.